And Jesus used absurdity to make a point on several occasions in the Gospels. In Matthew 23, Jesus says, "Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for you tithe mint, dill, and cumin, and have neglected the weightier matters of the law, justice, and mercy and faith. It is these you ought to have practiced, without neglecting the others. You blind guides, you strain out a gnat, but swallow a camel." The absurdity here is that someone should go to so much effort to ensure they do not swallow something as small as a gnat, and yet manage to miss the fact that there's a camel in their drink. In the same way that David and Mitchell couple were absurd because they were worried about the trivial, the lost quiche, rather than the really serious stuff, adultery and gambling addiction. The Pharisees are worrying about the trivial, herbs and spices, when the weighty issues to be considered are justice, mercy and faith. And that's just one example of this, but Jesus does it so often. He deliberately exaggerates a point to impress his hearers. There's so many more. Why do you see the speck in your neighbour's eye, but do not notice the log in your own eye? The principle's the same, except rather than the absurd image of someone swallowing a camel by mistake, Jesus gives the image of someone trying to help their friend get a speck of dust out of their eye, oblivious to the fact they've got a log in their own, which is rendering them pretty much blind. And then this is one that I particularly enjoy. So whenever you give alms, do not sound the trumpet before you, as the hypocrites do in the synagogues and in the streets, so that they may be praised by others. Truly I tell you, they have received their reward in full. This time, the absurdity is that mental image of someone having a brass band follow them around to play a little jingle every time they donate some money to charity. The incredulity is the fact that no one would do this because it would look ridiculous. But at the same time, the people he's talking to want praise for their charitable gifts, and they're behaving as if having a band follow you around would be a legitimate thing to do.